Hello, everyone. This month, the month of September 2020, we are kicking off our entrepreneurship series. In this video, we are talking business basics. If you are a first-time visitor here, welcome to Money with Dr. Severine Bryan. If you are a returning visitor, welcome back. Please subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can hear information on things such as budgeting, saving money, money mindset, income tax, increasing your credit score, insurance, building your business, and so much more. In this series this month, I will have some guest speakers who will be talking about things like contract, disclaimers, and service agreements. So please come back at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time every day this month to get that information, and subscribe and hit the bell so you can be notified when the videos are posted or when we go live. So I wanted to just go ahead and dive into the information today. And one of the first things I want to talk about in this overview is, as we go through COVID, I see a lot of people who are starting businesses. And starting a business is more than creating a product and putting it up for sale, or saying I have a service that I want to offer to customers. There are some basic things that should be considered. And what I'm going over is not by any means comprehensive, but these things should get you started. Identify who you want to serve. That is one of the first things. In creating your product or service, identify who it is you want to serve. We call that an avatar. So every time you create a business, let's say a product, let's say your ideal customer is a woman in her 30s and 40s. Every time you create a product or a service, think of a woman in her 30s and 40s. Every time you create a product, think of a woman in her 30s and 40s, because if that is your ideal customer, then everything should be built around that customer base. So first, identify who it is you want to serve. The next thing you want to do is determine how you want to serve that customer. What is it that you want the customer to go away from your business with? Do you want them to feel comfortable? Do you want them to feel educated? Do you want them to feel happy? Do you want them, what is it that you are wanting that customer to experience from the products and services that you're offering? That is very key, because if your customer is going away feeling like unhappy, and your intent is to create happy customers, then you failed. So try to identify what it is that I want my customers to experience when they come in contact with my service and my business and my products. The next thing I want you to think about as you're thinking about creating your business, starting your business, who's on your team? Who do you have on your team? Today, it's very easy to create a team without spending a lot of money. At the very least, you want to have a lawyer or someone with legal knowledge, and an accountant or bookkeeper, if that is not your strength or if that's not your field. At the very least, you want to have a lawyer or someone with legal background and an accountant or bookkeeper. It is very easy to hire a virtual assistant. There are apps and there are services, which I'm going to talk about at another time in another video. But there are lots of easy ways and inexpensive ways that you can create a team as you begin your business that can get you the platform and the infrastructure that you need to be successful. And I wanted to share these statistics because 20% of businesses fail in the first 2 years. 45% of businesses fail in the first 5 years. 65% during the first 10 years. And a lot of times the failure is not because you don't know what you're doing. It's not because you don't love it, because a lot of people start things and you're like, I love it. I mean, I'm passionate about this. So everybody should be passionate about it. But no, because maybe the people you're targeting are not your ideal customers. Maybe the people you're targeting, the what you're thinking they should be experiencing is not what they're experiencing. And that's where you have feedback. That's where you have you try to create a way for them to give you their feedback on how you're serving and how your product is going. And I'm serving you and you on this platform because I want to educate. So if I'm not educating, there's a comment box. And then I've also provided platforms that you can comment and say, hey, I don't think you're covering what I want to hear. And then I can see those comments, I can see that feedback, and I can restructure my programs or my broadcast so that I can make sure I'm meeting the needs of those who are watching, my subscribers, and those that I'm hoping to become subscribers. So determine who's on your team and what it is that you want from that team member so that you can create the infrastructure to become a successful business. Now, here's another thing to consider. Are you registered with the various authorities? Because that is going to be the difference between a hobby and a business. Because if the IRS deems what you're doing a hobby, the most you can deduct in expenses is to the level of income. So if you make $1,000, you can only deduct expenses up to $1,000 if the IRS deems what you're doing a hobby. If you're thinking seriously that you're doing a business, then you want to register with the various authorities. What is it that your state requires? Typically, you go to your Secretary of State. Some states are different. And you typically go to your Secretary of State and you register there a name to make sure nobody else has that name. And then you want to check your local authorities to see what kind of requirements they have. There are some businesses that may require special insurance. There are some businesses that may require you to have some kind of liability, carry some kind of liability insurance or some kind of protection because of the nature of your business. You have to know all of those things. So it's more than just having a product, having a service, and putting up a shingle and saying, I'm in business. You have to look at these basic things. Then let's talk about revenue and expenses. You have to make sure that you are not commingling your funds, meaning you have to make sure that your revenue, money's incomes that coming into your business, that is not mixed in with your personal business. Because again, a personal income or your personal monies that you're getting, because the IRS, if you were to be audited, the IRS frowns on commingling of funds, and you could end up losing your business that you've worked so hard for because you have not properly categorized and separated your revenue and your expenses. So you want to make sure you do that. And again, there are so many apps, there are so many services that you can use to make sure that you are in compliance with this tracking of revenue and expenses. The other thing you want to look at, payment options. Not every payment option is created equal. And again, as I said, I'm going to go over different apps and services that you can use when you are starting a business, things that you can use to help you to be efficient and effective. And you want to make sure your payment options that you're using, you can pull those records and you can clearly see what services you provided, how you were paid, the customer who paid you. If you have inventory, you want to make sure that you have something that can track your inventory. All of that is key to satisfying various regulations. So you want to make sure your payment option that you're using, it has the things to track inventory, or you have a separate way to track your inventory. but you want to be able to identify your customers, identify how they paid you, what they paid you for. Clearly identify that. And Cash App is not the one. I know a lot of people use Cash App, but that's not the best way to, when you're running a business, to collect your money, because it doesn't have, it's made some improvement, but it doesn't have everything that you need to properly track the way you're being paid for your product or services. Now, the last thing I want to share is based on experience, an experience that I had just recently. Someone came into my Instagram, and I'm assuming it's an he, because a picture was of a he, and he sent me a snapshot showing that he had thousands of followers, and he said he provided service where he could help me evaluate my Instagram and YouTube account, and he would give me 20 minutes free, and then he would help me with growing my business. And I said, sure, no problem. I don't ever turn down free service. I have the option, if you tell me something and I don't want it, I can reject it, or I can go ahead and follow up and do the paid service. So his next question was, what is your phone number? And I said, I am not going to provide my phone number to you because I don't know you. I don't know you from Adam. Why should I send you my phone number? So that leads me to say, make sure that when you're setting up your business, you have a way for customers to contact you, to customers to learn about you, and customers to pay you. You need to have a way for customers to do all of these three things: pay you, learn about you and your business and your service and product, and to pay you. I don't know this person. And for me to turn over my phone number to you, you're soliciting my business. You should provide me the platform that I can contact you to get this business. So make sure that you're set up properly to collect your coins, for your customers to contact you, and for them to learn about who you are so that you can create trust. Because if I'm selling a product or service, I need to create a trust factor for customers to buy my product or service. So I hope this is helpful to someone who's thinking about going into business and wanting to know, what are some basic things to consider. And of course, again, these are not by no means comprehensive, but these are basic things to consider when you're trying to go into business so that you can get started on the right footing.